So this will be a breakdown of US30 trades, a buy, a sell, and an ongoing buy, or a projected ongoing buy. Alright, so without further ado, without wasting much of time, let's just get into the charts. Yes sir, here we go. So this was the buy, right? This was the sell, and this is the current buy that is ongoing, this zone. I project it to create a new high. Obviously we have this first target, or you can say this high as the first target, and then this overall, this high and the overall high. Those are the next targets. So with this initial buy, I have two entries here. I'll show you how I was able to capitalize on this buy. Right, so I had this price had generated this liquidity here, which was the target for any buy coming from here. Now this particular buy was sponsored by Nasdaq. I correlated it with Nasdaq to be sure of this buy. In the previous trade I showed the Nasdaq buy. I took this whole buy. So using correlation, because both are US indices, right, and they move similarly, because Nasdaq had bounced off this zone and Nasdaq buy was so sure for me, I was so sure of the buy, I knew that US30 would likely bounce from a similar structure without reading that low, even if the low was a liquidity. This low was a liquidity for US30. But I knew if Nasdaq had efficiently and technically bounced from this zone, US30 was going to do the same, right? Then after market opened, it's opened with a CME gap to the downside. Now upon opening this gap, I waited, right? Market built, formed a lot of candle-like structures here. I marked this consolidation. They all happened during Asia session. Even the first entry was during Asia, the second entry was during London. So I marked this consolidation, and then I waited for price to break out of this zone with good candle momentum. That was the first entry. So the first entry was a buy stop here, right here. I waited for price to be breaking out with a body. So this was the first entry. Stop was just beneath this guy. It was a 1 2 3, and this was the target, right? That was the first entry. Now the second entry I entered after price had given this good momentum break to the upside and breaking this key structural level. I then knew there was going to be a retest back to this zone. Now this was the overall zone, but the controlling demand in this zone is this guy. Here. This is the key guy. This is the refined zone in the broader zone that should actually sponsor price. So I knew we're going to have a retest back to this guy. Then I had this limit set here. The limit was just set there for the second entry, and yeah, that was what happened. In London opened, look, 9:30 a.m. opened, retested, and that was it. That was the buy. So simple and short. Now a sell followed suit. I took a loss here. I took a loss on this first sell. I thought the sell had started. Obviously it had started, but I didn't get the perfect entry. So I had this big zone, and then I had the refined zone, just like to buy similar. So while price was here, I felt because it had broken this key level, we could just retest these zones here and dump. So I had this sell here, and obviously price went and took me out. I think I have it on my CFD charts. Yeah, this is the CFD. Took me out. There's 2 entries for the buy, and then the first sell took me out on loss, and then I had this other zone here, but I didn't engage yet. So I'll show you how I got to engage this sell. So I was so sure that this sell was going to happen. Is after price took this liquidity, reacted from the zone well and nice. First touch, second touch. Whenever I say second touch from his zone, it makes me happy. I feel like that's a win already. Once I see price sweeping the first touch, particularly with a wick, I'm just so sure that would sell. So we had this first touch and second touch, right? And then price violated. Ideally, this should have been the zone I should have picked. This one right here. This is the main zone, because this was the demand that was violated. So this should be the demand that should sponsor the sell. I don't know how impatience got me looking at this guy, because I thought we would miss it already. So yeah, then I got price. Let me just reduce this to 3x, and then price did its thing. Tapped this guy, just the same thing again. 2 touches, first touch, second touch, and then broke structure. I'll pull up a picture showing my prediction. This was where I made the firm prediction on how I expect price to move. So I expected price, when price was there, I expected price to clear this high, come back to clear this low, and then clear this high again before then breaking structure, and my entry would just be a sell stop at this guy. That was the plan. And it happened just like that. Let me show you in 15 minutes. It happened just like that. Price first touch, created the second touch, clearing this high, broke this low, confused a lot of sellers to think the sell has started. This was the inducement I was looking for. So if price goes back to clear this high, that is all I'm looking for. So this was a break of structure to the downside. Many people think the sell has started and then just start selling from maybe here with a stop loss here or something. I would have done same thing too, but perhaps because I'm able to recognize patterns, so I knew similar thing is going to happen. So I needed, after breaking this line, I needed to clear this high again before dumping, and that was what happened. So I had the sell stop just here. Immediately price got close here, 15 minutes with good momentum. I was just so sure we were selling, and coupled with the fact that it was in London session, so, and there we have it. That was a good sell. That was just a prediction. This was the low of targets, because there were full mitigations from this guy to this guy. So if price is going to take this low, there's no reason why it shouldn't take this low. So that was how I was able to capitalize on the sell. First the buy and then the sell. And then I had this major zone here, like I said earlier, that I felt was capable of returning price back to these highs, and even taking all of these highs. That's the projection. So from next week I'm going to be looking for buys. I took a loss first on a buy here. I'll show you guys just how it went through. So on the price did the thing. A lot of dramatic movements happened here. A lot of dramatic movements. Price just kept dancing until it eventually came down. Yeah, so it eventually came down. When it tapped this zone, I think I took a buy around here. This is it. Yeah, that's it. After tapping the zone and clearing this liquidity, I thought we were ready to buy already, because of the the momentum it is then going up. And it was also FOMO. I think I was just coming back from work this particular time, and I felt like I had missed a lot of moves on US30, so let's just engage this buy. So that was how I got in here. I didn't even care about what price was in. I just wanted to make some money. Then it got me stopped out, and price came back to clear the low again with a wick. I think I obviously wasn't on chart this time, and then came again to clear with another low. Now this is how I plan engaging on this buy, because I believe it's going to be a long buy. So I'm not seeing any clear reason for entry yet, but this may be, if price tries to retrace. I'm honestly not seeing any good zone to join the trend. Yeah, I'm not seeing any good zone to join yet. So I would wait for more structures to be formed, more order flow. Perhaps if we have something like this, probably price eventually breaks this high, come back to do something dramatic. Right, I can then decide to take a buy from here. Then we shoot up. That'll be my projection. But for now, nothing serious. Nothing serious for now. It's just to pay close attention to the order flow formation until we take all of these eyes, obviously. All of these eyes. And for now, that is my projection, and yeah.